what's the deal? You already know who it is. It's y'all favorite Auntie Pooh. And I know y'all like, dang, Auntie Pooh, you be taking forever. But girl, I work 12 to 16 hours a day. Like, what do you want from me? I'm trying. I'm coming to y'all while I'm on my break, eat lunch. You feel me? At work at like, what, 2, 3 in the morning. So, y'all gotta bear with me. You feel me? My coworker be like, bro, how you the only one be getting food delivered so late? Because when you tip well and you go to places consistently, you can literally call them. Like, I know y'all closing, but can you do me this solid? You feel me? And I'm gonna pick it up. You understand? Just how I go sometimes. But anyway, let's get into the story. So like I said, baby, she pull up to mom's house and go inside the door. When she go inside the door, her motherfucking eyes hit the floor. Because what she wasn't expecting was to see both of her friends, including the gay one, doing what they do in front of moms. The mom's just looking like a boss. You feel me? But when she looked at the gay one and she looked at the couch, she was like, I know my eyes don't see what I think they seeing. And her mind was like, yeah, your eyes see what you see. So mine was like, so you just come into people's house unannounced? And she was like, well, I got it from you. And mom was like, I can understand you probably in your feelings, but what's going on right here don't got nothing to do with you. She like, so that's what you do? That's what you do? You just go around playing with people's feelings? Mom said, absolutely not. I just do what I want to do. I can afford to do what I want to do when I'm grown. And then she was like, for real, you too? That person don't say nothing. Mom say, you don't question nobody in this house. You don't even got that right or the authority. She like, I feel I should ask questions. She was like, really ain't nothing for you to ask. You feel me? Just like that. So she just in shock. And she looking at her friend like, but ain't nobody stopped doing what they do. That's when she realized who her mother-in-law really was. You feel me? Her mother-in-law is that girl. You understand? Is that girl. And she runs her program in every which way. Then she looked and said, for real, Pops? For real? He looked at her. He said, nah, for fake. She like, how do y'all handle this? He said, we grown. We do what we want to do. She was like, is my husband here? He was like, nah, he working. Like it should be. She was like, do he know? His daddy was like, no. What me and my wife doing got to do with our son. Both her friends looking at her like, plus the other chick. She just like, I can't believe this shit. She like, y'all some sick, nasty, manipulating ass people. She like, I never want to see y'all again, whatever. Mom just started laughing like, you'll be over it. And just laugh it off. Like, you'll be over it. You feel me? You'll get over this. It's nothing, you know. I did get a piece, but I did get a salad, y'all. So moms ain't fazed by none of this. When she run out the house, Pops is the one that's like, let me talk to you. And she like, I just don't understand. And he basically tell her, man, I know how my wife is, man. I know she got you to, be with her. That's how she is. She like to control everything. He said, I don't have no problem with it. He was like, but my son don't know. And he was like, she never wants him to know this side of her. He said, so I'm telling you right now. Don't tell him nothing. Just let it go. She gonna act like everything normal. No matter none of the slick shit she say. He was like, one thing about it. She don't want her son to know, about our extracurricular type of shit. And she was just like, whatever. So she give Pops a hug. They go along about their day. She go home. She crying. About an hour or two later, her friend come back over. And she like, get away from my door. And her friend like, look, I know you mad at me, but you gotta understand, I got a weakness for her. That's somebody I dealt with for years. And she was like, I mean, what's good. And then she was like, yeah, I know. You feel me? And she was like, so, I fall weak from her. She was like, I've been holding out. She was like, but when we seen her in the restaurant with the other chick, she said, I don't know, it just did something to me. She was like, then when I seen her over here, she was like, I had to. She was like, I had to. She was like, and she gave me a nice chunk of change, And so, wifey like, that's all it is for you? Like, it's just money for you? And she like, it's money and feelings. She like, she hooked me up in both ways. Like, I get to come and I get to go shopping. Like, like, old girl really don't got nothing negative to say. She already said her negative part, you feel me? But she's still stuck on her. Like, regardless to what anybody say, anybody feel, that girl is still stuck on moms to a certain extent. You feel me? It just is what it is. I had to go get my fork. So, that's just what it is. Like, you can talk that shit, but it's just like, you know how it go, right? So, she was like, are we still friends? Are we cool? You feel me? Like, I hope they didn't take all of them out. She was like, are we still cool? Shit like that. And, oh, perfect. So, hold on. Let me just get in position. I should just look the damn phone. My dumb ass. Anyway, she was like, you mad at me? She was like, yeah, I'm mad at you. She was like, but I'm married. She was like, I just gotta let this type of shit go. I can't be tripping off this type of shit. So girl like, nah, shit. She was like, if you ever need a loan, she got you, Like, old girl trying to make light of it and try to let her friend know, like, look, I know it might sting a little bit, but girl, I've been fucking this lady and this bitch been had a hold on me. It's just what it is. You feel me? So that's how that went. She was like, look, you don't want to keep drinking? And then old girl was like, wifey was like, so Pops really get in? And then old girl was like, shit, Pops the real freak. And she was like, you been with my father-in-law too? She was like, yeah, but she don't know that. So girl like, well, how y'all be getting down? She was like, Pops get hair from everybody. But he only fuck his wife. And she was like, what about her? It's like, she free for all. She do what she want to do. So they like, damn. And then she was like, I'm really sorry, friend, whatever. They both ended up not tripping. So they was like, you want to get another bottle? She was like, fuck it. I'm going to just spend the night over here. Fuck it, let's get a bottle. They get a bottle. They talking, they chilling. Her husband called. Not wifey husband, but the friend. He called, he say something. He tell her, hey, you know, the kids over here on my mom's. I'm finna go help this, da-da-da. She like, all right, I'll get them in the morning. They talk, it's fine. They getting tipsy. They laughing about shit, crying about shit. You know the woes of a girl night. Yeah, you know. They got to looking at each other's eyes and shit. And talking. And hugging. And then they went to kissing. Rubbing. Sucking. Fucking. And baby, they have a session. When I say they have a session, they have a session, right? They fall asleep, wake up the next morning, shower, have another session. So you can't blame it on the alcohol, right? They in the kitchen. The friend throw her up on the table. That little island in the kitchen. Topping her off. Right? Topping her off. It's cracking. Next thing you know, the door open. It's the husband. He like, babe. She like, oh shit. Oh, girl already on her knees. She just dropped down even lower. He like, what you doing up on the countertop? He like, oh no. We was doing something. Whoa. He was like, you? Oh, girl pop up from the bottom like, hey. He was like, what's up? She like, man. He was like, I had dropped something. I was looking for something on the floor. And she was like, He was like, yeah, okay. And then she was like, what's the deal, hubby? He was like, nothing. We got to leave early. He was like, Pops came back yesterday. I came back this morning. She was like, oh, I know. He was like, you know what? She was like, nah. Then kids go in there, say hi to mama. You know how I go. So he was like, what y'all was doing in here? She was like, she was looking for something. She was like, I was just sitting up here. He was like, oh, okay. I'll remind you. They had a session from last night. Right? So they sitting there. They done got past this first. And she like, let me go put some more clothes on. Because they had on like, you know, like little t-shirts or whatever. He go upstairs. He looking in the room. He like, you was playing with yourself last night? And she was like, huh? What you talking about? Like, what you talking about? He was like, I see the toys out. She like, oh, yeah, I got a little lonely, you know. He was like, but when you buy them? She was like, oh, no. Saying her friend, oh, she was showing me, you know, what she bought. Or whatever like that. She had an extra one. He like, She had an extra one. He like, all right. He like, well, you need to spend some time with your kids. He was like, I'm finna take a shower. He was like, let me go handle some business. You know, I got her friend, she cleaned up the room. her friend, her little bag, you know, she carried with all her shit in her. One of the condoms and dropped on the floor. Well, mind you, the condom is open though. The paper wrap. The condom not in there, but the paper wrap. He come out the shower. He sitting out on the bed. He drying off and shit. He looked down like, he pick it up. He looking at it. He instantly get mad, but he like, nah. He don't say nothing. He put it in his pocket. He gone about his day. You feel me? She doing what she do with the kids and shit. So later on that day, he called her like, meet me at my mom's house. She like, for what? He like, we go have dinner. She like, oh, I was cooking. He was like, nah. We'll eat over there. She like, okay, let me get the kids ready. They get dressed, they go over there. They sitting down. Mom is being extra nice. Oh, I miss my grandbabies. I miss my husband. I miss my son. She got a few other people over there at her house too, right? She got a few other people over there. She like, you know, I just want to say I'm grateful for my family, you know, for my son, for my grandkids. I'm just thankful for everybody who support our business, who support us, you know. Nice little old time. So, as they sitting there, the son kind of watching the room. You know what I'm saying? Because the friend is over there. He there, her husband. You know, everybody, he watching the room, though. He's very attentive. You feel me? He watching the room. And he just sitting there. He just, you know, he looking. So, he leaned over and was like, hey, bro. Talking to his homeboy. He like, what's up? He like, shit, what our wives been into? Our boy like, shit, doing them, spending our money, you feel me? Shit, what else do they know how to do? He was like, right. You know what I'm talking about? Right. He was like, why, what's up? He was like, oh, nothing, I'm just asking. He was like, oh, yeah. He was like, yeah, my wife was over your house last night. He was like, oh, so you knew? He was like, yeah, I knew. He was like, I had to go handle something. He was like, so she stayed over there. He was like, oh, okay. So, Pop's talking to the son now, like, what's up, son? Pop, he like, what's up, Pops? And Pop's like, what's up with you? He like, I don't know, something ain't right. He like, what you mean something ain't right? He tell his daddy, man, something ain't right. He like, well, what? He was like, well, my relationship. And then Pop's like, what you talking about? He like, you got a good woman. What are you talking about? He was like, yeah, all right. Pops was like, man, I don't know. You tripping, son. That girl good to you. That girl ain't did nothing. He like, how you know? Pop's like, I'm just going by from what I see. He tell his Pop, shit, how you know? You don't know what going on in our household. Pop's telling you right, I don't know what's going on in your household. So let me mind my business. You feel me? Because you getting defensive with me. And I'm just trying to tell you got a good woman. You feel me? Like, what you... So, moms come over there like, what's going on? And then this nigga proceeds to pull out the condom out his motherfucking pocket and say, I don't know, but I found this on the side of the bed. And I called her over here with y'all for dinner. He said, because I'm finna confront her. The mama said, no, you're not. He was like, yes, I am. She said, no, you're not finna confront her in front of my fellow friends and colleagues I invited over here tonight for dinner. No, you're not. He was like, so what you want me to do? What you want me to do? She said, what I want you to do is stop acting like a pussy and realize your wife wouldn't cheat on you. He was like, yeah. She was like, yeah. The son was like, all right. All right, it's your world, mama. It's always your world, right? She said, what's that supposed to mean? He was like, exactly what I said. It's always your world. You got to have it your way and no way, huh? She was like, if you trying to say something, say it. He said, I said it. She said, well, I'm glad you know that. He was like, it's sad to know that. So Pop's like, hey, both of y'all chill out. Because I don't know what y'all on, but y'all both need to stop. Period. Both of y'all need to stop. So, you know, that was the end of that. They had dinner. She didn't even know what was going on. So, remind you, his homeboy was right there. So, when his homeboy get home with his wife, her friend, and he talking, he like, man, what y'all was doing last night? And she like, what are you talking about? He was like, the homie found a condom last night. And she was like, what? A condom? He was like, yeah. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, he was like, yeah, well, he showed us when to say something. Right? So she's sitting there like, oh, shit. And she thought about it. My bag. You feel me? Right? So, she texting her friend like, girl, your husband know about the condoms. And she texts back like, what? She said, I must have dropped one of the condoms out my bag last night. And then she was like, you know, like he ain't said nothing. She like, call me when you can. They get home. She being nice because she know a little bit, but she don't know all the tea yet. So she just like, hey, you know, you want to take a bath together? He like, nah, I'm cool. She like, but you been gone, you know? You don't want to have, you know? He like, nah. Everybody like, okay. You feel me? Like, he like, nah, I'm good. She like, why you acting like that? He like, I'm cool. She like, okay. He like, I'm just tired. She take that like, okay. So the next day, she meet her friend, and they talk about it. She was like, well, my husband told me he had the condom in the pocket, and he was about to confront you, but mother-in-law, mom, said no. And they was like, mom, he said some slick shit to mom's like, it's your world, you can have it all. So she know her husband, so she know when he talking like that, he feels some type of way. She like, man, he feels some type of way. She was like, but don't bring it up. He ain't bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it go. So as they sitting there talking and chilling, before she left, he asked her, like, where you going? She was like, oh, I'm just running some errands. So as she out running errands, like I said, she meet her friend. He passed by. He see them talking. So in his mind, he like, what she had to lie to me about meeting her for? You feel me? Like, the fuck? So, moms call her while she with her friend, like, hey, where you at? She like, oh, right here with Wookie Whoop. She like, come talk to me at the office. She was like, I'm finna go meet moms at the office or whatever. And so, old girl was like, oh, ask her, do she got that paperwork for me? And then she was like, do so-and-so say you got the paperwork for her? She was like, oh, yeah. Tell her she can come pick that up, too. Because we need to go and have this conversation. We might as well have it right now, all of us. So they go to the spot. They go to the office to meet moms, and they talking or whatever. They talking, and moms is like, you know, my son knows something. So she like, where that condom came from? And old girl said, that's one of the condoms I got from you. You know, the condoms you be giving me to put on the strap, right? And she was like, oh. She was like, She was like, okay. She was like, yeah, I seen it. She was like, but I couldn't react. She was like, but I didn't know if that was one of mine, whatever. And then she was like, yeah, it was one of yours. She was like, one of the strap for the strap or whatever. And then she was like, so you ain't cheating on my son. And so wifey was like, no, like I would never do that. And then everybody looked, and she was like, you know what I mean? And she was like, okay. She was like, no, I would never step out with a man on him. Like, absolutely not. So they talked, and she was like, everything just gonna be chill for a while. Da-da-da-da. She was like, because I got a feeling we got a leak in our circle. You know what I'm saying? She was like, we didn't let a couple of new people in. I don't know how. She was like, they seem one way, but now it's seeming a little different. She like, okay, fine. When she leave there, like I said, she don't know. Her husband literally following her. So she leave there, leave mom's, go do whatever she go do, run, just say Target, Walmart, whatever, she go home. He tell her, she come home. She like, hey, babe, what you want for dinner? He like, oh, whatever you make, it's whatever. She like, no, I would want to make something you want, He like, oh, it don't matter. She like, okay, she go in there and cut. She go in there and do her hair. She put on something sexy. She come down. He like, okay. She feed him. They have a little session. They get it in. So as they land in the bed, he tell her like, would you lie to me? And she was like, no. He was like, are you cheating on me? She was like, no. He was like, where did the condom come from? She was like, the condom came for the friend because of the toy. Honestly. She was like, I never would have a man in your house. I never would do anything. And he was like, you sure about that? She was like, yeah. She was like, I promise you. He was like, okay. He was like, well, I gotta go on some business. You know what I'm talking about again? And he was like, she was like, well, wait a minute. Your dad not going? He was like, no, there's some other business I got going on. She like, okay. Everybody, he don't believe shit she say at this point because he got this condom made up in his mind. Ain't nothing you could do to take that away from him. It's nothing you could say. It is what it is. So he go on his business trip. When he go on his business trip, he meet his homeboys. They go out, they have a good time. Now they in the club. Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. They ain't that motherfucker going up, right? They swag. They doing them. This motherfucker, he meet a little lady in that motherfucker. He dancing with her. He talking to her. She like, where your girl at? He was like, no, I'm about to get a divorce. She like, you about to get a divorce? She like, yeah. She like, why? He like, man, I've been gone out of town. He like, I come back home and I find a condom. She like, oh my God. And he was like, she trying to tell me it's for a toy. And I don't believe that shit. And the girl was like, well, I got a lot of toys. And I do use condoms on my toys. And she said, because I've been fucking other girls with it. When she said that, he felt he had the whole story. He was like, yeah. He said, when I came home the other day, he said she was on the counter, leaned back, and her friend was on the ground. So a girl was like, oh, she was getting some head. She was like, she told me old girl was looking for something. So a girl like, yeah, that click. That click to suck. That what she was looking for. But he got like an attitude. She like, well, I didn't mean it like that. You telling me your business, I'm gonna say something. So he was like, man, it's all good. Let me buy you a drink. They get a couple of more drinks. They drinking and talking. And so she basically telling him like, you know, you mad if your girl like pussy? He like, I ain't really with all that. I'm not into that type of shit. He said, because I seen my mama do shit when I was younger. A girl like, what you see your mama do? Right? He was like, my mama always had different women coming over, spending the night. She go out of town with. He was like, and I used to wake up when I was younger. He was like, go downstairs, look through through the hallway downstairs. He like, my mama and daddy have all kind of people in their room. He was like, so I know how my mama get out. And she was like, you mad at your mama like an old freak? Like, this your mama be a freak. He was like, I'm not with that shit. He was like, I ain't into sharing. And the girl like, come on, this is a new age. Like, people do what they do. And he was like, not while they with me. I'm like, damn. Right? So girl was like, well, since you're getting divorced, want to spend some time with me? And he was like, spend some time. She was like, yeah, you don't want to talk? Let's finish this conversation outside the club. He like, okay. They go back to the room where he got. They chilling and they talking. They lay in the bed together. They don't have sex. But they cuddling. You know, they laying up. But he like talking to her. And he was like, maybe I am tripping. Like, by the end of the night, the conversation ended up being like, you know, if your wife ain't cheating with a man, she might be missing a little intimacy. You know, with you. Like, you know, you got to step up. So he was like, okay, right? So, nigga, so. Oh, shit, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. God damn. Anyway. So, he like, okay. So when he go home that weekend, when he go back home after that weekend, right? He didn't sleep with a girl. Now he go home and he communicating with his wife. He kind of putting the condom thing behind him, but he like talking to a girl so much. He meet her every weekend. You feel me? So him and his wife is back cool at the house, cooking, cleaning, fucking, sucking, no issues. Not even with the mama, daddy, nothing. But he like talking to this girl. This girl has his attention. Like, she just is like a therapist. Like, they talk, they lay, they cuddle. They don't have sex, though. And they just talking. And every weekend they meet. And she used to tell him, like, man, you know you can't be coming to talk to me and chilling with me like this. You got a wife. And he was like, you my friend, you know. She was like, yeah, but I want to fuck you. And he was like, you do? Mm-hmm. She was like, you think I just lay with you and talk to you about your wife and I don't want nothing with you? And he like, oh shit, you know. I wasn't thinking of nothing like that. Like, my bad. Wasn't trying to mislead you. Wasn't trying to play with you. None of that. She like, I totally understand. I know you wasn't trying to play me, you know. It's all good. So, she was like, what's up with sleeping with me? He was like, nah, we can't do that. He was like, but I'm going to miss talking to you. Like, I don't want to stop talking to you. And she was like, well, We can't sleep together, that's fine. But I don't want you to stop talking to me, you know. She like, now I understand the boundary, you know. He like, yeah. So he go out there a couple of more weeks. But one day she called him out the blue like, hey, my car broke down. I don't got nobody to help me. Can you help me? He like, sure, I can come help you. He go help her with her car. And when I say out of town, y'all, I mean like cities over, you know, another city, going to work, that type of shit. So he drive about an hour or whatever to go help her and all that, right? What happened was when he get there, after he helped her, and they get to where they going, he fuck around and his car need work. So he got to get something done in his car, but he got to stay the night. He called his wife like, man, my car tripping. She like, you want me to come get you? He like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll be home tomorrow. I'm going to go and stay out here, get a room, get my car fixed, whatever. She like, okay, husband, I love you, whatever, whatever. Now she talking to her homegirl. They at the house together. She like, girl, I can't believe these past few months have been amazing. She was like, you know, I regret everything I ever did. She was like, but I forgive myself. I would never fuck up on my husband. I would never. She was like, it's just been going too amazing. Old girl was like, yeah, me and my babe. She was like, I don't know what it is. She was like, I guess after you cheat, you know, you realize what you got. And I always tell you that. I say sometimes you got to cheat to realize what you got at home. I know some of y'all don't like that, but it's the truth. Anyway. And then she was like, oh, his car broke down. He gonna stay out there. She was like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, he been going out of town for working, whatever, whatever. And she was like, working? She was like, my husband said they been done with that project. And she was like, no, they got something over here in Wood the Wood. She was like, no, they don't. And old girl, wifey was like, yes, they do. That's where he been going every weekend. She was like, no, they don't. She said, watch this. She called her husband. She said, babe, ain't y'all done working with the Wood? He was like, we've been done with that almost 4 months ago. What are you talking about? And she was like, y'all don't got nothing new starting over there or nothing. And he was like, nah. He was like, me and him run the company together with Pops. Like, I would know. We don't have nothing. And so a girl was like, hell no. She got on the phone and called Mom. Say, Mom, y'all don't got no work going on over there? Mom's like, no. She like, well...